Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Weeknight Warriors ARCA series. This is going to be a fun one. We have a new series on Tuesday nights, and we are here on preseason week number 3, the last preseason race of the series. And we got a good race ahead of us, Luke.
Hey, that we do, Kevin. How we doing this afternoon? We have quite the stacked field out here tonight, Kevin. We have, oh boy, just trying to get a rough count here. Shoot, I'm seeing well over 20 drivers here tonight. We have a pretty packed field out here at the biggest track that NASCAR offers out here, and probably one of the funnest cars, in my opinion. How do you feel like that's going to affect out here tonight? The guys are out here qualifying.
Yeah, it's kind of, in my opinion, a get the jitters out sort of race. They're going to a super speedway for the preseason race. I'd expect a couple cautions out here. I'd expect a couple roughed up cars, but I'd also expect a great race. There's no better way to get the drivers' relations with each other, really going than to go to a super speedway where anything can happen.
And looking out here, we got our first driver out here of the afternoon here putting up the first lap. Ty Carino out here. He is currently the lowest ranked driver in the field of the night out here, but he's getting that lap in early out here. He's going to get the first qualifying lap out here, it looks like.
Absolutely, and as we all know, the super speedways, for the most part, the shortest way around is the quickest way around. So him wrapping that yellow as tightly as he can is crucial out here for qualifying. It's a 2-lap qualifying, so it's kind of, driver's choice as to whether he wants to make that first lap or that second lap as hot lap. I think I go first lap in ARCA, if I remember correctly. I know at Daytona, it kind of always seems to be second lap, but here at Talladega, you have a little bit more room to get up to speed. But he's going to put up a good lap time out here and go to the top of the board so far as we're getting a lot of qualifying times pouring in. But Carino is leading them.
And we see quite a few other drivers here putting up some laps right here. Nathan Carroll out here putting up a lap. Let's see what he can do out here. He's sitting third on the pole out here. I believe this is his last lap. Still going to remain in third.
P3.
Oh,
How about
no,
Daryl
down to
Johnson?
four. Daryl Johnson.
Second. Drive for West Virginia, and then currently sitting on that front row next to Ty Carino.
Boy, and that nice Coors Light mobile out there looking shiny as ever.
Absolutely. We're still seeing a good amount of guys on the track right now, a little bit over half of them. Still some qualifying times to pour in, but right now Ty Carino is looking quick, looking good at the top of the board. Jeremy Osborne, who we know all too well as a very good super speedway driver, is going to move into that 4th spot. Second row right now.
And as you said before, Kevin, there was, I believe there was 2 weeks before this here, in terms of pre-series races that we haven't got to see so far. But for our first one out here so far, we got a very big field out here right now. I'm reading. Let me take a look here. 34 drivers, as it seems.
Yeah, it seems to be a great turnout, especially for a preseason race. A great idea of what we have coming in this series, Luke. But how about Omar Rodriguez taking that spot from Jeremy Osborne on the second row? Going to move into the 4th position with his time of a 54.54. It's a 10-minute qualifying. We still have about 5 minutes of that remaining. With a lot of the guys, I'm seeing about 14 still on the track. And how about Nicholas Warner's time? Able to go to the front row and how about Heath Job? We see 2 come in back to back, getting 1-2. It's going to be Heath Job now, your front runner, your pole sitter, as of right now. And an absolute steamer of a lap for Heath Job, as he just takes everybody off by, almost a 1/10 of a second, 0.07 faster than everybody else.
And it looks like most of the guys are wrapping up their qualifying out here. And how about Blaze Billing representing the OH?
Yeah, are you familiar with Mechanicsburg, Luke?
I am actually, Kevin. What about you?
I can't say I am. I'm
No?
very sheltered. Look, I don't get out.
I see. I see. It's not too terribly far.
I'd also like to point out here tonight, Luke, while we have a great race ahead of us, we also have a race without fast repairs, which I
Oh
personally
boy.
am a fan of. It's going to make these guys, have to be a little more honest with their moves, but if we do start seeing a lot of cautions, we got to really start thinking about, who's got damage out there, who, is going to be off pace, who's been able to keep their car under control, but I love it, Luke. I think the races without the fast repairs are the best races.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, Kevin. It just makes a whole lot, like you said, it really does make a whole different environment out here. Guys are gonna be playing the race a lot more conservative, I gotta feel. But looks like Danny Barnes is probably gonna close us out here for our qualifying session, and he's gonna take the number 3 slot here.
Good luck for Danny Barnes, who's also a very good super speedway driver, as we know. Looks to me like it's going to be Heath Job getting the pole out here with Nicholas Warner on his outside.
I believe Danny Barnes is getting his lap 2 in. Danny Barnes making his way around here. I believe that is our last qualifier of the session right now. Gonna make his way across. Can he beat his previous time or the 2 guys in front of him? Gonna stay right where he was. I believe that's gonna about do it here for the qualifying session. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right, Luke. I think it's going to be a Heath Job pole out here. A great lap for him.
As we wait here, waiting for the qualifying results to come through here. As it
Yeah, I'm
stands
going to
right
go
now.
ahead and
Oh,
get our first interview of the season in here with our pole sitter, Heath Job, and see what he has to say about what his team has to do to stay up towards the front. Actually, Luke, scratch that. I'm not going to do that because if I move him here, I don't think I'll be able to move him back to his team's channel. So I'm going to try
I
to get
see.
that sorted out. I don't want to strand him from his team right before the race, so
Hey,
I'm going to try to
understandable.
sort that before any impulsive decisions. But a great lap for him, a great lap for his team. I was going to point out when I got in here that his team's Skid Row Motorsports not only has this thing sponsored, but is also starting 1, 2, 3 tonight with him, Danny, and Nicholas Warner. So a great start to Skid Row Motorsports for the preseason race. But going to be interesting to see what they can do to kind of control this race and stay up there.
Yeah, definitely not a bad spot to be in here. And just to remind us out here, Kevin, how many laps are we in store for here tonight?
We've got 80 laps ahead of us here, Luke. It's going to be a long race, but also without those fast repairs, I think the second half of it's going to be pretty quick if we see some early cautions.
Yeah, and we'll just have to see out here. We're currently looking at it looks like it's a nice 80-degree day out here. Partially cloudy. Not too much wind out here, so I doubt the weather's going to play too much into effect out here tonight. I believe our qualifying results should be showing up here shortly. Heath Job going to get the pole out here. Nicholas Warner going to get the 3, and Danny Barnes getting the number 3, as you said. They definitely got to be pretty happy up there in the top 3 with Skid Row Motorsports. They're starting to take the grid now.
Yeah, they're gridding up, getting ready for the start of this third preseason race. Next Tuesday, Luke, we're going to be going green for the start of the season, though. So I think this is their last chance of practice out here with this group of guys. Who wants it the most?
Yeah, we'll have to see out here after, what'd you say, 80 laps?
Yeah, 80 laps ahead of us. Well, Luke, got it all fixed up, and I think I'm going to go ahead and drag on Heath Job on over here now to see if he has any words to say about that lap time.
Yeah, let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Heath, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, what a lap there, getting on the pole, but more importantly, getting your team on the 1, 2, 3. You want to talk us through what you guys have to do to keep yourselves up there and get a good finish tonight?
We're just really we're just kind of play it by ear and not really worry about what's happening behind us.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck out there. I see you guys are gridding up now, so I won't keep you for too long, but best of luck to you and best of luck to Skid Row Motorsports.
Thank you, man.
I was Heath Job on the pole here tonight, Luke. I gotta ask, because I know I've done a handful of races with you. I know we've had our fair share of wins and a great share of losses. Do you like starting up front in a race that's so many laps, like this one?
You know, it kind of depends. And in a normal scenario, I would say yes, but due to the circumstances of this race and the lack of fast repairs, I would honestly say no. I'd honestly rather kind of start either probably near the back, to be honest with you, just to kind of stay out of it. I know we got quite the large field out here. We're reading 33 drivers on the field right now. So, in my opinion, I'd just be looking to stay out of the chaos here for the first 60 or so laps, to be honest. What about you?
Yeah, and, I mean, usually I'd agree. I'd say, stay in the back and stay out of the trouble, but it's also kind of a good plan to kind of stay ahead of the cautions. A lot of the cautions we see are about 5-10 rows deep, so I guess in theory, staying ahead of the cautions is a great way to stay out of trouble. So I think it's kind of just, dealer's choice almost. If you want to, you can get up to the front and try to stay in front of it, but I wouldn't even be surprised if we see some guys try to drop out of the pack, behind the pack, to stay out of trouble here early.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see out here as they're getting ready to round the final turn of this track out here, getting ready to go green out here for the first time of the night. They're rolling out of turn 4. The pace car is going to be making his way in here shortly.
Yep, pace car is in, and we are getting ready to go racing for the first time here. Ninth Gear broadcasting alongside the Weeknight Warriors. Flagman ready, as always. It's that late restart here at Talladega, but we are green.
Here we go! Let's go racing!
Let's go. It's going to be Heath Job on the inside of Nicholas Warner, both of them with a solid start. The inside line has a little bit more stride going so far. We see a couple drop down there about 5 rows back, but it's still going to be Nicholas Warner leading that outside line, getting pushed around by Ty Carino. Coming out of turn 2, that outside line. Oh man, coming out of turn 2, that outside line really got the jump, and it's going to clear down. Nicholas Warner has a little bit of a stack up there on that inside. And that's also going to clear up the 62 of Ty Carino as he comes down, gets a hard push from the 29. That outside line. About 3 cars deep, tight, and then maybe a couple further back.
Oh, and the front two collide! Oh,
Could
man!
save it for the most part here.
But not that third line.
Huge fan out there because of that.
But we're still green. Nathan Carroll, one of the unlucky recipients. He was hard up into that line 3 wall, and he is way off speed compared to the rest of the field.
Unfortunate, but...
Oh, boy.
Possibly more unfortunate than the incident itself is the fact that they were able to sort it out, so Nathan Carroll stranded here with no caution.
Oh, boy, and yeah, even more unfortunate for him. We see the majority of that front bunch here all filing into a single file line right now, and that's just going to completely kill what little opportunity might have been left out there for some of the guys that were maybe involved in that thing early.
Yeah, I'm seeing off the pace Nathan Carroll and off the track Logan Murray. Not sure if he started this one. Also Nolan Gross, not off the pack, but definitely kind of fanned out back there. They're all kind of bridging each other, 7 seconds back through one pack it seems. So let's go ahead and get a look at Kyle Van Drunen if we could, Luke. I'm seeing he is the front runner of kind of a second group they got going on already.
And it looks like they're starting to form together. They only got 3 right now, but we see a couple more starting to catch up behind them. But they're racing too wide behind them a little bit. Definitely not where they want to be if they want to catch up here. But still very early on into this thing. I imagine they'll probably end up sorting this thing out and getting in line here to catch up to those front runners.
Yeah, now we see Nathan Carroll entering pits. So it's going to be some repairs on his end, as we know there's no fast spare out here.
Just to point out, Kevin, I thought I'd let you know right now, he is currently issued a meatball. So I imagine he is going to likely get an early end to this one out here tonight. Unfortunate. He went hard into that turn 1 wall, or I believe that was the turn 1 wall, if I'm not mistaken, out here. Just seeing if we can find that contact anywhere out here without taking too much time here. Yeah, it's going to be too long. But either way, he took quite the hard hit here. If we get the time to go back and look at over under caution out here, we will. But
well, look, while we're going back green here, it seems like everyone's kind of got scared straight. As we see, the 62 of Ty Carino is still leading this thing, but there really is no second line as far back as you can see. It seems like everyone kind of single filed in, maybe a little bit of fuel saving if they can.
We see about 3 groups working.
Yeah, it was that big old stack up we saw right off the rip. I think that we saw some guys kind of get the memo, some guys kind of had to hit the brakes hard and lost the pack. But I wouldn't be too upset with being in a second group right now if I was on Liberty.
No, it's definitely a fairly safe spot to be.
Yeah.
Assuming you can keep up pace, that is. That group is single file all the way through the top 18 right now. Oh boy. The rest of the guys are going to catch up on the number 3 there and just fly around them. A lot more speed. Looks like they're all going to make that transfer there.
That front group, we're still seeing single file led by none other than Ty Carino, but Nicholas Warner is the pusher. And I think now is a good time. I wanted to talk through about how this ARCA car kind of has some issues with it from what I've experienced at least. There's a bumper hooking issue. If you stay connected to the back bumper as the pusher for too long, it can just hook them out of nowhere. Some call it netcode, some say it's by design. I really don't know, but from what I have seen and from what I have done in this car, it's kind of more a slam draft as opposed to a push draft sort of strategy, because you can't hook them that easily if you really try to stay connected for too long, and it will be a penalty on you in most series that are run. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys can weigh the kind of the happy medium of pushing but not pushing to the point that they could turn somebody.
And speaking of pushing here, we're watching the onboard of Nicholas Warner, seeming to be the best pusher of the night out here. He's been managing to keep Ty Carino up here in the P1 position for the first 7 laps of this thing.
Yeah, and right now it kind of just seems to be cakewalk for everybody. I feel like if I'm in this front group, the last position I want to be in is probably the 62 of Ty Carino's, just because, you know, he's not being able to save any fuel up there. They're not really fighting anybody for positions up there, so it's kind of just a game of holding your line and maybe saving some gas if you can. And he's the only one that can't do that, so honestly, I'd say best position is if you're third or fourth back in line, which this Skid Row Motorsports full team is.
Still sitting on board Nicholas Warner out here, giving a lot of space up there to Ty Carino up there in the front. Chief Job sitting behind him here.
You know what? Another thing with this team of guys from second all the way back to fourth, it kind of seems like if they don't want to make that second line, the guy that's fifth place, which is currently Daryl Johnson, is going to have to make that second line. And it's a lot harder to get around the leaders if the guy in fifth pulls out a line as opposed to the guy in second. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can make that happen.
And you got any idea what the fuel situation is looking like out here tonight, Kevin? When are these guys going to possibly having to come in here for a green flag if it would happen?
I'm not positive. Let me try to get a read on that. I know it's 100% fuel out here. What I do know, however, is we are now about, what are we, about 10 miles from this thing. That front group is the group that is having all the success so far tonight.
Sorry to cut you off a little bit there, Kevin, but we have a second line starting to work here finally.
Yeah, we got 4 cars up there, it seems. And
being led by the number 96, Blaze Billing right now. They got 4 vehicles with them as it stands, and they're making a lot of speed going down this back straightaway. They got one joining them in front. Are they going to link up with him, or are they going to go around him? Looks like they're going to try to sneak around him and start to go for 3, but ultimately it looks like they're going to probably file in here. Probably a pretty good choice. The guys in front of them are going to start to fan out a little bit more as well.
Yeah, 3 guys from behind came as well, so it's now almost even lines.
Oh boy, and here we go, 3 wide. Up front.
The third line is made.
They're getting split on 2 sides here.
The 88 car of Jeremiah Nelson.
Gonna clear all the way down.
All the way down. That second line.
Like 2 wide here. Oh, they stack up.
It's a big stack.
Oh boy, they're still fighting to hold it together here.
96 of Blaze Billings not wanting to lose positions and get split there. He throws a nice block. By nice, I mean it worked because nobody got around him.
Nope. Took everyone a little bit there to squirm together at the end of that one. They all were a little bit off center there from that, but everyone seems to be filing it back together here, and we are back to some 2 wide racing out here. Some good action here going at the end of the 11th lap here, start of the 12th.
Well,
and we now have a new lead.
Stepping out.
That's right. We now have a new leader of this race, Jeremiah Nelson, leading the start of lap 12.
Yeah, Jeremiah Nelson really got very lucky there because not only was he able to clear, but the guys that were going to try to come clear on the outside after him kind of all got into it with that block by Billings. So Jeremiah Nelson able to get into the dominant line without any trouble.
And he's got Nicholas Warner behind him, who just seemed to be the dominant pusher all night out here. He's pushed Ty Carino here to a lot of laps led here up until this point. So if you're Jeremiah Nelson, you got to be happy with the company you got behind you.
How about Jeffrey Bourne? He's been holding that second line all the way through, and he's really trying to get the rewards of it now as he is up next to the 29 of Nicholas Warner, getting pushed by the 78.
Oh, a little off center, and now they're 3 wide. Briefly,
Yeah.
They go for the split, and the 78 gets off centered. The 48 of Osborne goes up with him.
Well, the 48 is trying. Jeffrey Bourne is trying to, keep that push really hard with him, so he's going to go up to that third line, try to pick him up. But the 7 car of Danny Barnes is kind of, stuck on that middle line now, unfortunately. So both those lines are going to lose some speed. And the 88 of Jeremiah Nelson.
Oh boy, bit of a domino effect. The 12 gets bumped.
Oh.
They're sideways and they're wrecking hard going down the backstretch.
Oh, wow, what a hard wreck.
They're
See
still
multiple
spinning out.
cars. I see Blaze Billings involved heavily.
Oh, man.
I see Heath Job involved heavily.
And we're still seeing tire smoke down the back straightaway. And that'll bring us to our first caution out here on lap 13.
And it's going to be a blessing for those that were kind of lost on the pack and quickly losing time, but for those that were up there towards the front, unlucky. Try to get a replay here on what happened.
Now, from what I gathered there, Kevin, at least just from what I saw before we actually do go back and break this down, it looked like it was the start of that third line. I saw a push happen at the start, and it just almost seemed like it dominoed back towards about the number 12, I want to say.
Well, yeah, it looks like
we'll
there's a big checkup that's being read.
Ooh.
I honestly think we're going to see the 102 of Buster Malcolm kind of not read the checkup as well. So here's where it starts, kind of where that checkup starts. He doesn't want to split him, so he kind of hits the brakes. Then if we go back, the 102 doesn't really get the read on it. Hits the back right of the 12, who gets into Heath Job.
760, then goes sideways, gets into the 76. Heath Job
kind
gets airborne there. Yeah.
So I don't know who I'd call that on. It kind of seems like Buster Malcolm in the 102 not reading the checkup as well, but ultimately the checkup was kind of caused there by the 78. Here. 78.
I see at least 4 cars that are going to probably be making their way into the pits, not only for fuel out here, Kevin, just for some repairs, but overall, not too many vehicles involved in that one for what I thought it looked like, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it starts with Aaron Wright.
And here come the pits.
The 78, but
everybody making their way through except for the 52 of Brad Slade, who is opting to complete another lap out here behind the pace car while everyone else makes their way through.
Yeah, and we're going to see a disconnect from Buster Malcolm there sitting in the 102, so maybe too much damage to continue out here. That's going to be his night over.
Yep, I'm seeing a meatball also from the, I believe, number 12 of Jeff Johnson as well, unfortunately. Also seeing it. No, wait, never mind. Tough to say, either way. Most of the guys are going to make their way through the cycle out here, apart from the 52, who opted to stay out here. Everyone's starting to catch up and file in place.
Look, how about we get an interview in while we're waiting? Guy that's sitting in the front out of the guys who pit right now, Jeremiah Nelson. Let me see if I can dial him up real quick, because he had a great run to the front there, and is now going to be starting on the front row on the restart. Hey, Jeremiah, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, man, what a run there from 21st off the start to get up into the front row here on the first restart, only 15 laps in. You want to talk us through kind of, what the vision was and why you were one of the few that was...
Yeah, I was just kind of riding there for a minute, and I seen them get that run, forming a run, and I just hopped up there and went, just rode the run and went to the lead, man.
Yeah, and it seemed to work out. You're now on that front row, not on the inside, on the outside, because someone was on a little bit of a different strategy, Brad Slagle, but on that front row now, and we wish you the best of luck to keep that car up there and keep it safe out here tonight.
Appreciate it, brother.
That was Jeremiah Nelson. Going to be starting front row here, Luke, on the restart, trying to keep his car in good shape, as we've already seen about 3 or 4 of them. Kind of get roughed up out here. I see Aaron Wright down a lap, Buster Malcolm down a lap, Nathan Carroll down 12, but Heath Job out there on the front lap, catching up to the field. I thought he'd have a little bit more damage going airborne there.
Yeah, I thought he would too, but he's going to remain out here, and he's going to still stay standing out here and still stay racing, it seems. Catching back up to the field out here. He's on the start of the tri-oval here.
Yeah, speaking of Heath Job, how about a shout out to our sponsors of the evening, 760 Graphics and Skid Row Motorsports. 760 Graphics making paint schemes for all your iRacing needs. To get a hold of them, you can contact Heath or contact myself, and I can direct you that way. Skid Row Motorsports, Luke, they've had a strong run here tonight.
Yeah, that they have, Kevin. Orrs, remaining up near the front here for the most part from what we've seen, but let's see if they can make that continue out here.
Yes, some early issues there for Joe, as he unfortunately was caught in that one as well as Jeremy, but I'm confident from what I've seen in the past on super speedways that they can find their way back to the front. Yeah, now we're seeing Zeb Johnson disconnect, so possibly that meatball that you were talking about has ended his night.
Yeah, it just may be, Kevin. And it's going to be the start of lap 17 here when we go green. The pace car is going to be making its way off here on the exit of this turn as the guys are going to tighten this one up here and get this thing ready to roll out here.
It's going to be Brad Slagle with the command here, as he stayed out on a little bit of strategy to get this position. We'll see what he can do with it, as Jeremiah Nelson, who's been soaring through the field up 20 positions, is going to be on his outside.
And we see him starting to go through the tri-oval here.
Green flag, here we go. A good jump for that inside line of Brad Slagle.
Oh boy. Seems to be stuffing up a little bit there as the number 3 drops way back. And that second line then gets split up just a little bit there, it seems. A couple transfer attempts trying to be made there near around the 15th position. Everybody trying to sort it out.
It seems, when there's cars there, that outside line can really soar, and barely making it in on the clear is going to be 92 of Omar Rodriguez. A great clear for the 88 and him to double clear down in front of Brad. But as I was saying, it seems like when that outside line has people, it seems to be the dominant line out here. They're both able to clear there. Now it's going to be 54. Dawson Price, the next to try on that outside line.
And there's the man we were just talking to a minute ago leading this thing now, Jeremiah Nelson.
Yeah, I got to work very quickly to get that position up on Brad Slagle.
Currently being pushed by Omar Rodriguez in the 92 behind him. Going down that backstretch, man, that outside line has the speed.
Yeah, they just get a huge run. Almost an unblockable run. 99. Getting a little bit of, I don't even know what to call it.
A lot of space there on that second line.
It looked like braking, but I don't know, maybe it's a nick or something that made the 99 fall way back off the pace of the 54.
They're all going to link back up now and hopefully try to get that speed running again, as now they got about 7-8 cars now clear in front of them.
57's going to think about hopping out. He's going to go back down. There's a little gap there between the 6th and the 7th position. Robert Monday hanging on to the front group here.
Aiden Stevens right now leading the charge of that second group right now in 18th slot right now. They're not too far off 17th place right now. I believe the gap is... Let's bug it a little bit. I believe the gap is... what do we got there? About a second and a half. But the guys behind them undecided on what line they want to hold there, and I bet that is by holding them back a little bit there.
Well, Luke, as we imagine that the second line is starting to find its speed and its footing once again, As the 54 of Dawson Price is slowly picking up positions one at a time, Omar Rodriguez trying to push Jeremiah Nelson as hard as he can to keep that from happening, but it seems inevitable as the 54 Dawson Price has made it up into the top 4. Oh man, and the leaders blinked out. And he's back. And he goes the second line. And they're going to split him, and that's going to be Jeremiah Nelson. As he's going to fall very quickly. A smart move on his part to go up high, get out of harm's way, and live to see another day out here. Now we're seeing Justin Ziemecki in the pits and now out of the pits. Not sure what that was about. Possibly penalty of some sorts. Not quite positive. Regardless, it's going to be Omar Rodriguez Jr. leading this thing around. The second line, I've been talking about for the past 5 laps, led by Dawson Price, is slowly getting there. As he is almost smelling the back bumper of the inside leader of the 92.
They got the cars down. They're all about together here. I imagine they're going to probably have a lot of speed going down this back straightaway. 92 thinks about coming up. He's going to be there. He's going to take the bump.
Oh,
and
and the 99's going to split it 3 wide. Oh, this is where it gets dangerous. The 92 now has a decision to make. Does he want to go with the top side with the 54? And he does. Strands the 99 of Sean Fry. He's going to fade back, but he's going to pick it up behind the 07. Not losing too many positions.
Everybody indecisive here, and we see someone rubbing up in the wall back there a little bit. And that's going to drastically disrupt that second line there. And it seems just as they caught up to speed there, they fell back, and now getting relinked again. That speed is coming right back up here. Going through turns 1 and 2 now.
Yeah, and we're seeing James Hudson of the 2 car kind of blinking around a lot mid-pack. I see it's causing some checkups. Not quite sure how big of an issue it's going to be. But definitely going to be something to pay attention to.
And the outside line
Hard
really
pushes
just
from the
not
54.
linked up where they need to be at right now to make up that speed. That inside line going to remain in front here. How about the 62 of Ty Carino? He's sitting on the 3rd row of the inside line right now. He's no stranger to being up there and at the front. He led the first handful of laps out here.
Yeah, absolutely. But how about the 57 of Robert Monday? He's going to take a real risk here, a real gamble, and he's going to give up his 5th place position to hop up to that second line and see if he can get something going with them. Right now.
Oh my! And I believe we see a blown motor there. I thought I saw some smoke coming up in the air there for a moment. And oh no! And the 54 making his way off the track, almost completely off speed.
Go back. I can get your read on if that's
yeah, and I can't tell.
It's heavy pushing.
It's hard to say. I thought I saw some smoke, and that's Dawson Price. We know he was running up in the front, and I'm reading he has the meatball, Kevin. He had to have blown his motor there.
Yeah, watching it now, he absolutely
man, I'm
did.
going back. Yeah, we got to go back and take a look at that one. That is unfortunate. I saw the smoke. I didn't expect it. He's sitting there pushing that second line there. And yep, we see the smoke coming up. Oh, man.
Yeah, bad break for
there. The
07. Yeah, I'm trying to get a read. Looks like it's going to be Cooper Liardi. Bad break for him as he's kind of just sitting behind him with nowhere to go. Made the right move, just slowing down, and looked like he was able to avoid it damage-free, but definitely going to lose some spots here.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's going to be the end of the race there for Dawson Price now as he has the meatball. No spare motors in this race. Once you blow it up, it is done and done out here. And it's going to be the start of lap 26 out here as they cross the start-finish. Starting to progress our way through this thing. And we see someone sliding through the grass back there. It's Chad Strelo. The 04 really sliding through the grass. He's almost completely below the whole tri-oval there. Still below the yellow. And we currently are reading the black flag from him right now on the RC, it looks like. And he's going to let everyone roll by.
He made a little bit of contact there with Heath Job, but then it kind of seems like he didn't try to go back up towards the track, maybe making the conservative move to just stay down there. And, I don't know, just stay out of harm's way, but it's definitely going to lose him the pack there, because he's still below the apron.
A lot of our leaders now making their way around some now lap traffic. And now our leaders are 3 wide right now. Rodriguez now is trying to split tie Carino now, and Brad Slagle leading that inside line. And that third line, just no support, and the second line not as much either, and that's going to probably kill most of the speed there for the second and third line, while the inside line stays pretty well hooked up. There's that backstretch speed for the outside line. They only have 3 vehicles with them right now, but still staying pretty well up to speed. Currently reading 26 vehicles still on this lead lap right now and in this thing. And that is a good number off of what we started from tonight.
Absolutely. Now we see the number 8 of Johnson making some moves here on the outside. They seem to have some speed. He's not clear yet. Definitely up there, trying to clear.
And you know, Kevin, it just makes us kind of think back there after that incident earlier. It's a big deal in these cars to remember to give your guy room to breathe, at least a pusher behind you here. Because it can really create some room for error. And the number 8 and the 88 both clear down there up on the front.
And that 88, that's Jeremiah Nelson back. I know earlier he had some internet issues. Decided to go up to the wall and fall back many positions. And he's proven that he can go to the front, from back to the front now twice.
And now he is pushing Daryl Johnson, who's getting his first taste of the lead out here of the night. Currently looking at your top 9 right now, all still bunched up together. Heath Job and Hames sitting near the back of that. It's about a 4.5 second gap between them and the guys behind him, being led by Nicholas Warner. Fighting 2 wide back there, and the inside line is definitely running with more vehicles there, so they're hoping they can make up some time there from those guys in front of them, but as it stands, that gap is increasing.
And the caution flies here. Here I'm wrecking on the backstretch, and I'm seeing Jeremy Osborne and Cooper Laardi both involved.
Oh, yeah. Also
Oh,
seeing Jacob
oh!
Petrowski.
And I hate to be a spoiler here, but somebody's got to check on Jeremy Osborne. That was a...
Oh boy!
Go,
right,
let's
we're going
go back and take a look at it, because...
We're gonna go back here. Alright. So we're watching... what camera do you think we watch here?
I think the far chase of Jeremy Osborne would be a nice one. 57 are kind of working, but then... Oh, just a hard hit, the 48.
Oh.
Also involved pretty heavily there, of Jeff Bourne. The 5 gets involved, Nathan Swafford.
Goodness. And I just wanted to
The
give you a little
07
bit of a
Cooper
spoiler as well,
Laardi.
Kevin. We're seeing 4 meatballs at the end of this incident.
A big wreck there. Can we get some names?
Currently reading, obviously, Jeremy Osborne. Currently reading Jacob Petrowski. I'm reading Liardi. Let's see. I believe we're also getting Nathan Swafford.
A lot of guys, a lot of damage out here.
And the number keeps on shrinking here, and I believe we're only going to see maybe the top 21, 22 drivers out here remaining. We still got over half of this thing left to go out here. We're not even at the halfway point yet.
Yeah, but like I said, right before this race, Luke, the longer it goes, the more cautions we see, the quicker it's going to go, because the shorter the field gets, the less cautions I'd imagine we see. So, down to what, you said 26? Or 21? Whatever did you say?
21 to 22.
21
Not many.
22, I mean,
A lot of
it's
meatballs
shortening
being
and
dished out.
shortening and shortening, and I honestly like that. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think the shorter, the less, in theory, now obviously this is just, you know, in theory, not what could be happening on the track, but the guys that are getting the meatballs are often the guys that are causing the wrecks. So, if we're getting the guys out that are causing the wrecks, then we should have clean racing.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
I mean, I don't know if that's how it's going to work, because we just saw, for instance, Jeremy Osborne there just get obliterated despite not causing it, so who knows, but in theory, I think cleaner racing is going to come from this. First out of the pits we're going to see is going to be Darrell Johnson.
Yeah, jeez. Definitely a fair number of crashes out here to start this one so far. But a lot of the guys still remaining on top of it.
I'd like to point out Brad Slagle kind of had a longer pit stop than everybody else, if you were wondering what that was all about. He had to take more fuel because he was the guy that stayed out earlier when we had a wreck on about lap 15.
That's right,
So he's going to transfer back a little. I still think it's a positive transfer for him staying out, because he fell back, but he didn't fall too far back. It looks like he's, sitting in about 12.
Currently sitting in 15th. Yeah,
sitting in 15th. I don't know where he was to begin, but regardless, his car doesn't seem roughed up, so seems like he's in a good spot. I'm gonna go ahead and pull on over an interview real quick, see if I can get in guy currently sitting in 5th, Danny Barnes, to see what he has to say about the beginning of this race and what's to come in the next 55 or so laps. Hey, Danny, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
What's going on?
Hey, man, we're not very far into this race, but we've seen 2 of your teammates fall already. Can you talk us through, the chaos that's ensued already and how you've been able to avoid it?
Pure D luck.
Absolutely. I know that feeling on these tracks, but looking forward, I know you've done just as much, if not more, super speedway racing as the next guy in this lobby. So you're going to talk us through if you got a little bit of a concern about the possible bumper hooks in this car.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping these guys will pay attention to. I know a bunch of them don't know how bad it is. That's why when we were with that last run, we were trying to catch back to the pack. I wasn't pushing real hard to Nick because I didn't want to bumper hook him by just giving him bumps and hooking up on the back straightaway because I know how bad it is. So.
Yeah, absolutely. A big concern for me out here, but it's been some great racing, and we wish you the best of luck in the rest of it.
All right, man. I appreciate it, kid.
Appreciate it. That was Danny Barnes out here, currently running 5th, keeping his car in tip-top shape. Out here as we're about to go green. It's going to be Daryl Johnson this time by on the command. His pace car is getting ready to come in.
A lot of the same front runners up here to keep this thing going out here. Jeremiah Nelson, Rodriguez, and Ty Carino, just to name a few, as they're approaching the restart zone. Racing once again out here at Talladega.
Absolutely, here we go, boogity, boogity, boogity. The 8 car of Daryl Johnson with a good jump here as Omar Rodriguez is going to be able to follow him into that second position. Outside line still trying to get connected up. We see a couple transfers. That's really not going to help its speed. And you know, Luke, I just talked to Danny Barnes and he said that he is concerned about the possible bumper hook issue that these ARCA cars can have. But his biggest concern is that some of the other drivers don't really know that it's a big factor. What do you think? You think we're going to see some bumper hooks in this one? I know so far both the wrecks we've had haven't been from that.
I mean, it's definitely prone out here in these vehicles. It's definitely something you got to be careful for. I imagine we're probably going to see it once or twice out here, but obviously I'm not hoping for it out here. We see currently 21 vehicles still on the lead lap out here, with a handful of them down here still racing a lap or two down. But Daryl Johnson's still leading this thing up here on the front as the 92 of Omar Rodriguez slides up to take charge of that second one. He definitely doesn't have a problem doing that. He's done that quite a few times in this race out here. Made the risky transfer up there to the second line and remained in charge. He's going to be rewarded there with that massive speed bump down here, going down the backstretch. It's going to clear him. He's going to try to take it.
Clear down.
He's going to get it.
A good move for him to get him to the lead. Yeah, absolutely he is.
Beautiful read of judgment there and a good transfer there for Omar Rodriguez. So he's going to be now leading sort of lap 36.
Almost opened up there with Houston Molina back there on that second line, but he's going to think better of it and go back into the second line. A couple stack-ups there on that outside line. It's going to get some speed moving, though, for Omar Rodriguez, Daryl Johnson, and company on that inside.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who I saw back there, Kevin. I saw a vehicle a little bit off speed with the main bunch out here, missing a front bumper out here, and I think I skip by him here. I just wanted to see who that is out here. I think they're still remaining within the draft of this front bunch out here. Not really anymore. That'll be the number 99 who is now missing a front bumper. Rodriguez goes up again, but they're going to split him. They're not going to let him take charge of that second line now. He's going to be split.
This time. Yeah, and this is going to help him a little bit that they're going to come down to side draft. He's on that second line, so he's going to get a little bit of draft from the 62. Third line's still there. Still trying to get around.
The 67 makes the pass. The 78 is now 3 wide with him. Rodriguez makes the transfer down to the inside.
Yeah, I was just going to say the 88 of Jeremiah Nelson was the one that made that move, and he was, for a second there, sitting in the lead, so possibly a smart move by him, but that inside line getting pushed by Danny Barnes, who we just talked to, is really moving.
Oh, boy. Second line getting a little shifty, and the third line collides hard!
The
coming across the
Garrett
grass.
Hummel is through the grass. We're still green out here. I'm only seeing Garrett Hummel.
Garrett Hummel's still in the grass. And oh no, he's gonna... That is very unfortunate, Kevin. I just thought Sorry, I'd just like to point this out here. Garrett Hummel got a black flag there. Unsafe pit entry there. He barely crossed through the pit entry line. So not only is him and Nathan Swafford both going to be in trouble there for wrecking out and, having to repair those damages, they're also going to have to suffer the black flag penalty of an unsafe pit entrance as well.
Yeah, and just like that, it's going to shorten the field even more. Good on them to keep it contained, though. I'm honestly surprised when we saw 1 or 2 cars heavily inflicted there on that wreck, but as for the front, about 8 cars back to single file. Look like Rodriguez is going to hop out and make that second line work again. We're going to see multiple hop outs in stride, maybe a coordinated push here from this 57, 92, and 88 to get back to the front. Too quick right now. Johnson still being pushed around by Danny Barnes as they're coming up on some lap traffic here of the 99, who we saw have the issue earlier on. But second line is kind of in a kind of stalemate-ish kind of area. But the 52, right as I say that, Brad Slade pops up because he wants to get back into the action here.
Hey, you know, I'm just happy to see that the number 99 found a spare bumper sitting in the pit stall when they came through.
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing here. Down. Now
able to stay in the draft.
At least one. Able to stay in the draft and probably feeling a lot better.
Yeah. Currently 3 laps down, unfortunately, is where the 99 sits.
More lap traffic coming up without a bumper this time.
Seems to be a common theme out here.
41.
Jeremy Osborne, we know he was heavily involved, and I'm honestly pretty surprised to see him still out here driving. He took a hard lick back there. He's still kicking.
Still out here, maybe another caution or two. He can get that damage fixed up, and at the very least, help his teammates out.
Yeah, and he's going to need 2 cautions out here. He is 2 laps down right now, and I believe he is currently still your lead lap car right now, though. So he's currently still your left dog candidate. As the 13 is now getting split.
But the 92 of Omar Rodriguez is flying up just in the blink of an eye. Now up to about that second pack.
Going to be given room to breathe for the 88 behind him out there. It seems him and Jeremiah Nelson have had a good thing going out here. Really giving him room to breathe out here. A lot of trust to be leaving into someone not to split you there, but they seem to have a lot of trust in each other, making that second line work out here as they're making a lot of speed work off of it. Kevin, we're officially over the halfway point over here in this thing. How are you feeling so far into this? We've seen, I believe, 2 cautions out here so far, and almost half the field gone already.
Yeah. I think we got ourselves in for a good one, honestly. I'm trying to listen to the race control a little bit right now.
I got
Excuse me for not hearing very well, but I think we're in for a good race here. We see some single file up towards the front right now, but we know that second line can work. And we know that third line can work too. So I think once we get to the end of this race, some of these guys are going to start being a little bit less conservative.
And currently we're watching the front hood of your current race leader, Omar Rodriguez. Given plenty of room to breathe. The 88 behind him right now, Jeremiah Nelson. We see that second line being led by the 67, making a lot of speed work right now. And oh, never mind!
Oh!
Second line gets stacked up and one spinning out from it. The rest seem to avoid it. And that's going to bring us to our third caution. And man, we pretty much saw where that one was happening there from the front end of it there. But we're going to have to go back and take a look at that one, of course. So that's going to bring us to our third caution of the night.
Yeah, just looking at it, I'm reading Robert Monday possibly involved heavily there. Yeah, the 57. It looks to me like possibly the 57 getting squirrely and it's pushing, and then the 20 car maybe just not being so forgiving. I don't know what you're thinking here, Luke.
You know, it's tough to say. Yeah, I think I agree with you there on that one. Just at least from what we're reading here, it seems like it was a bit of a squirrely push from this 57. The 20 was just, I guess the number 20 thought he was clear on the inside. The 57 thought he was going to let him back in, and it just kind of, I don't know,
Yeah,
sorted itself out, I guess. But luckily, it seemed to have been contained to just the 57. The rest of the guys seem to have been off of that one scotch-free for the most part, so to speak here.
yeah. Omar Rodriguez, I would have given the lead there when the caution flew, so he's going to be leading into what I'd imagine are going to be some pit stops here on lap 45.
Here come the pits once again. A lot of drivers making their way through into their pit stalls. Winner on the pit exit race out here is going to be Jeremiah Nelson. Omar Rodriguez going to file in behind him here, as well as Danny Barnes to round out the top three here when we get ready to get this thing reset. To be honest, I'm really not too sure what the fuel window is looking like out here for these guys. I'm not really too sure if they're good to round this thing out or if they're going to have to come back in again. Believe the 04 here. We got a couple of guys sitting here on the front with the 90 and the number 4 sitting in front of Jeremiah Nelson.
I'm reading them as down a lap and looking for the wave around.
It's like it. I think I already asked you, but any read on the fuel scenario?
Yeah, not positive. You know it's 100%. So if you know how big the tank is on an ARCA car, then have at it.
One of the mysteries of the world, I suppose. getting ready to run this thing back here once again. We are over halfway done with this thing. It's going to be the start of lap 48 when we get this thing going green. Jeremiah Nelson leading the inside and Omar Rodriguez leading the outside line. Well, big thanks to Stephen Barshinger and James the Werewolf for about 2 hours ago for the subs earlier. Greatly appreciated, but the pace car is going to be making its way off here. Going green out here for the 4th time of the night out here. 3 cautions deep.
Jeremiah Nelson has found himself comfortable up here in the front, and he's going to be on the command tier with Omar Rodriguez on his outside. Danny Barnes and Aiden Stevens, their respective pushers. And we are green. A good jump for that inside line, a great jump for them. They're now about a car length and a half ahead.
And here we go racing once again. Bit of an awkward start there around the middle of the pack, it seems, for some of the drivers. That outside line really doesn't seem to have many. Gonna get a few more to join them. They got 4.
Outside line was not finding the speed that I expected it to find off this restart. How about Danny Barnes pushing away on the inside line here? Right, look at the run there with Slago. I mean, just. But, you know, right when I say that, we see a little bit of a charge back from that outside line.
Now we know he was on a bit of a different fuel strategy earlier. I wonder where he's sitting right now.
He's jumped up into the 4th position now after being, well, I think he was almost upside down at one point.
Yeah, he was about sideways at one point, I believe.
Seems like it's still pretty calm racing towards the front at least. We're not seeing too many dangerous moves made. There's still over 30 laps left in this thing.
I mean, in my opinion, no real reason to be testing things too early out here. Any unnecessary risk really isn't ideal at this current stage of the race. I think so far the main aim of this race has been keeping the cars alive. I believe we started with 34. Now down to 19 on the lead lap. Single file pretty much all the way through from what it seems. And currently getting reports that Robert Monday has crashed and has entered the pits. Go back and watch that. Oh man, what happened there? Oh, man. Oh. You see that one?
Yeah, unfortunate for him.
That's going to be the beat wall for him. That's going to be the end of his race.
I want to say a toe link, maybe? I don't know.
Like it. Unfortunate either way.
What I do know is that we don't really have a lead change because we don't really have a second line right now. I'm not sure what the fuel scenario is like, but it wouldn't be the most surprising thing ever if this was kind of that point where guys are trying to get to the end of it.
We'll have to see. I mean, they're all seeming to be driving it pretty safe out here. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys might be able to make it to the end.
And with that unfortunate event to Robert Monday, Luke, I'm reading only 18 cars out here on the lead lap.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Kevin, it just seems to keep on shrinking. The lap counter keeps ticking down, and so does the list of drivers still on the lead lap. Most of which are still running this single file wide right now. That second line that Robert Monday was a part of, I imagine his incident probably got them a little bit off speed.
I like how they're not really, pushing very hard. I know when I talked to Danny, he was a little leery about pushing hard just because of the bumper hooking, so they're keeping a good distance from each other, but also keeping it fast enough that outside the line would be able to just fly by them.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely keeping it at a pretty good pace right now.
Don't mind take an onboard look at Danny Barnes, just see how close he's getting. Is he preserving his temps enough to, yeah, it's like, he's not really even at the bumper right now. He knows where, he needs to be on the track. There goes Jeremy again. He knows where he needs to be on the track to, keep enough speed to the back of the 88, but not put him at risk of, getting in an incident. Which is kind of what we're seeing all the way back through the field. We're not seeing anybody get real close to each other's bumper. We're not seeing any pushing, bumping, nothing like that. Just kind of these guys riding right now. And if they are fuel saving, I really hope that Jeremiah Nelson has more fuel than the rest of them because he's in the worst spot for saving. Yeah, just getting in word here. A huge happy birthday to Jacob Petrosky. Not sure how old he's turning, but happy birthday to him. You want to sing, Luke?
Are you?
No, I'm not singing.
I'll sing for your birthday, Kevin. I know you got one coming up.
That I do, but today is Jacob Petrosky, so huge happy birthday to the 01 of Jacob Petrosky.
Big happy birthdays around over here from the team in 9th gear. So Danny Barnes and Jeremy Nelson getting close here and switching places, it seems. We are under 25 laps to go. Now 23 to start this one. The lap counter is starting to dwindle down slowly. Still only 18 cars here on the lead lap. Only the top 14 still remain in this front bunch right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to call it the witching hour quite yet, Luke, but it's starting to get there. It's just 23 laps to go. kind of all about positioning from this point. I mean, if it's me, I'm honestly happy being on the lead lap. It's 23 to go, but I know some of these guys are more comfortable defending than they are attacking, and vice versa. So I think everyone's kind of getting their ducks in a row here, getting what position they want to be in for that huge push towards the end, where it's probably going to be chaos.
I mean, the only group you got to be kind of wondering about is this group behind the main pushers right now, that main front pack. And you got the front of that second pack there being led by the number 20 of Houston Galena. Just taking a look out here. They're not too terribly far off the guys in front of them. I mean, I believe they're sitting just about a second and a half behind them. That's Brad Slagle in front of them at the very tail end of that group out there. Getting some pretty good pushes right now from that line right now. They're trying to make it work out here. Trying to make up the time out here. But that's definitely their main objective. But the rest of the guys up here in the front, I think if you're not in the very, very front or pushing very, very front, you're just coasting and holding on until you really have a reason to make a move out here. So just a little over 20 laps to go. I imagine they're just sitting and chilling out here for a little while. Starting to get a few visitors out here.
Yeah, they are.
Now.
Starting back there with
Rodriguez grabbing onto the tail end of that. He's been no stranger of making some different lines work out here. So looks like they might get a
Henry
fourth.
Gench. So Henry Gench is going to be the first to try to get to the front here on this line, assuming he doesn't get split.
Ames going to try to tag on here at the end of it as well. More vehicles, the better here as they're starting to get linked up now. Shuffling around going on as Rodriguez is going to make his way up to push the number 67.
And there goes the 13 up in front of Henry Gench. That's going to be...
Ooh, and the 67 splits down low.
Yeah, and Danny Barnes is going to hop out. Danny Barnes hopping out of line, going to file back in the third position. Maybe trying to give the 88 some attempts. Quite sure. Regardless,
say, Kevin, the number 67 is staying up extremely high right now, making it very awkward for 13 behind him, who now has to file back to the end of that line, drastically killing off the speed of that second line.
Yeah, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, kind of moves like that. When you're the pusher of someone going that high, it's kind of split or be split. 13 there goes up with them and gets split by the 92, and unfortunately has to file back.
It seems he's kind of doing a little bit of the same thing here on these exits. And then the third line coming back down into the second. Not too sure if that's going to be a bit of a strategy for him if you're trying to get a little bit of extra speed here or what, but it's definitely causing the guys behind him a little bit of issues staying behind him.
And while all this is going on, Jeremiah Nelson just calm, cool, feeling great about where he's at up there in the lead. I'd like to see that second line start to make something work, Luke, but I don't know if it can. The current order it's in. I don't know. We'll see.
13's had enough. He's going to try to make his way back down to the inside and so is Rodriguez. So is the 67. Just like that, the second line is no more. Back to single file all the way through. We see Danny Barnes trying to make a move there. Or sorry, that's Kyle Van Drunen. Got a lot of new faces out here still. Trying to get used to some of the names out here. Just taking a look here. It looks like that second group is starting to actually lose them a little bit. They're not really making up any time right now from what I can see. there for that number 4 to catch on to. We'll see a couple of guys at the back of the main group starting to break off a little bit here and maybe having a little bit of issues here, and that's going to create a bit of a window of opportunity here for those guys behind him now. As they're going to slowly start to make up time here. And oh, the number 3 sideways!
Oh, and there's the
Going
caution.
sliding across the grass. And oh,
Justin's, I believe. Trying to get a read on who that is. I think
that is
Zemecki.
Justin Zemecki, yeah. Oh, man. And that's very unfortunate for him. I don't think he was issued the black flag there for an unsafe pit entry, which is quite lucky, but definitely not
the 20 of Galena just comes up into him. He was already down a lap, so...
Oh, trying to avoid
down a lap.
Trying to avoid the number 40, who gets
20.
even more involved.
Oh, yeah, at the end there.
Sorry, yeah.
No, I got you, but it just seemed like the 20, kind of unaware there, comes up into him, which was a shame because he was in the lucky dog position.
Yeah. I think he was trying to avoid Jeremy Osborne there on board the number 41. And unfortunate there, as that is going to bring us to our 4th caution of the afternoon, and it's going to bring us to, I believe, 14 laps to go here when we go green? See a lot of guys opting to go below the apron here. Looks like they might be trying to do a little bit of fuel saving here, possibly.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like Osborne, to me, is kind of holding his spot on that line, not wanting to give it up, and then at the last second, the 20 decides, hey, this guy's going quite a lot slower. I don't want to file in. Makes that move a little bit too late and gets in to Zemecki.
And we see some decisions being made right now, Kevin. A vast majority of the field deciding to come in right now, but I see 2 people especially that didn't.
Heath Job and Brad Slagle all staying out here.
Like
what do you think of the move, Luke?
It's ballsy, Kevin. It's definitely ballsy out here. They definitely got a little bit of a team together right now. 1, 2, 3. Not opting to go into the pits here. They either have enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing, they think they can make it, or they are relying on something else to happen here before the end of this race. So we'll see how this ends up playing out for them. Like we said, we really don't have a fully accurate read here on the fuel window at the current given moment, but I would have to imagine if there's 3 of them all sticking out there, they probably got enough fuel to make it to the end of this one, or at least they think they do.
Well, make it to the end's one thing, Luke, but as we know, green-white checkers on these super speedways come a lot. I don't know if we have 1, I don't know if we have 3, I don't know if we have 0. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that's decided out here, because if it is 3 green-white checkers, and we do get 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3, I don't know if the guys that stayed out are going to have enough fuel for that.
Sorry, just trying to get a...
Yeah, I already looked. I have no clue where it is.
Yeah, ever since iRacing changed all this new shit, I have no idea where it's at.
Yup.
But, like we said, no idea. Picking at straws here. But it's definitely a risky strategy nonetheless, no matter what the scenario is, opting to stay out as a team of 3, and we'll just see if it pays off for them here. Because we are definitely approaching I would say, the witching hours of this race.
I gotta agree at this point.
It's about to be game time. Lights off the pace car. We're going to be going green this time. It's going to be 13 laps to go when we go green out here. like we said, definitely the witching hour.
Yeah, and how about this front row now? It's going to be Danny Barnes and Heath Joe, both on that strategy we were just talking about. Both teammates going to be working together to try to control these lines. But what I'm kind of interested to see is an organized third line, because we haven't seen much of it tonight, and I know it can work in the ARCA cars. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, among the likes of Omar Rodriguez and Nicholas Warner, who have been up front for their fair share of this race, but now sitting kind of towards the back, trying to make a topside line work out here.
Yeah, and just thought I'd let you know, Kevin, we have received word. We have 4 green-white checkers if it comes down to it tonight, as hearing from RC tonight.
That's very useful information, because I can't imagine with a lot of the guys pitting here that there's any chance of Danny Barnes and Heath Joe to get through all 4 green-white checkers.
And I gotta say, it's definitely going to be a scary final 10 laps out here if I had to take a guess out here. But we'll have to see. We got 18 cars still on the lead lap out here. A good number more down a couple laps out here. It's going to be Danny Barnes and Heath Job on the front two, getting ready to get this thing going. We're going green once again, approaching the green-white check. And green, green, green. Here we go. We're racing once again. The flag's waving. And we're rolling.
And Heath Joe gonna go down and come back up a little. Make sure he doesn't get a penalty for moving early and then come back down again. Safely so, in front of Brad Slagle. And Daryl Johnson's gonna be behind him and come up. Second line's gonna try to get working now with the 88 pushing the 8. With
Everyone
another
getting up to
88 on
speed.
the inside.
Oh, that inside line getting stacked up a little bit in the 13
Oh, there it goes.
sideways. Holds it together. Oh, and he's spinning around through the grass. David
it was saved
McCullough.
until it wasn't. Unfortunate for David McCullough as a huge stack
man, and,
up.
the 25 getting a little sideways there. Or 52, sorry. And
there goes the 8!
Oh my god! They're through the grass.
Holy shit, they're everywhere.
That's 2 of them, and that's the 5th caution.
I hate to be early, but before even looking at it again, I think we just saw our first bumper hook of the night.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I just watched it back, and it's exactly what I've been talking about all evening, that just...
Who we watching?
We're gonna watch... We can watch the 8 of Daryl Johnson, or we can watch the 30...
We'll watch the overhead
Jeremiah
of the
Nelson. So yeah, watching here, it's a very square push, and he just rolls off of them, as we're going to see here in slow motion. They're square, they're okay, and all of a sudden they're just not.
He just gets hooked.
And it happens in this ARCA card because of the build of the back bumper on these super speedways. Only on these super speedways we see it. Only in this car we see it. And let me tell you, look, it's happened to me before for money, and it's devastating because you don't know what could have gone differently. You don't even know what happened. Your car's just sideways. And unfortunately for Daryl Johnson, that's exactly what happened.
Lucky there for the number 99 getting up to the wall there, able to get around it there.
Ooh.
It seems like nobody else was caught onto it there after the end of it. Just the 2 involvees there, the number 8 and the 52. From what it seems. But either way, that's going to bring us to another caution out here. That's going to bring us to our 5th. And it's going to leave us with, I believe, under 10 laps to go when we go green out here. You know, Kevin, I imagine if we're going to see any at all this time around, we're going to probably be seeing the last of the pit stops, if there are any more to be made.
Yeah, and honestly, that strategy we saw from Skid Row, it kind of helps, I'd assume. More cautions, more fuel they can save.
Yeah, I mean, the more time you're off the gas heavy and able to put in the clutch a little more, that's probably not a bad time for them.
There's
Jeremy
another lap they
Osborne.
picked up for Jeremy. Yep.
And I believe that's gonna, I believe, put him at a lap down now. Or that will put him at a lap down here, I believe, at the end of it. Missing a front bumper, but making up laps out here. Definitely not a bad position for him to be in.
Yeah, lights are still on the pace car out here. So we will be going around another time.
That's going to bring us to under 10 to go out here. And you know, Kevin, we did receive permission that we were allowed to use a couple swear words here for this broadcast here, and I think I might want to use one here for the 10 lap to go thank of the sponsors here. A big fucking thanks to Skid Row Motorsports and 760 Graphics for sponsoring this race and sponsoring the broadcast out here and bringing this one to us.
A great opportunity for us, as well as I hope the league, because I'm very excited to get this season rolling at my favorite track, and we got a nice season ahead of us. I can tell it's going to be a good one. Great turnout so far, even though it's only preseason. And huge thanks to 760 Graphics and Skid Row Motorsports for being able to hook this up for the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said earlier, definitely a good group of guys out here to start this one, and a very strong field out here to end the final preseason race out here. We got 18 left, I believe, out here. Still within the lead group out here, or on the lead lap, but we'll see here as I believe the lights are, going to be coming off the pace car, and they're going to be filing in 2 wide out here, and it's going to be 9 to go when we go green. You know, Kevin, I mean, they're going down the backstretch here. Do we got time for a little interview here before we get this thing rolling again?
We'll hold it. I don't want to cut it too close. I know you've had your fair share of money shifts from possibly not paying attention too well, so maybe we'll hold it.
Some or another.
I would also like to thank our viewers that have come here tonight. It's been a great turnout as far as viewers goes. I know I'm checking in every once in a while. I know they're not here to see us. They're here to see the
Kevin,
drivers, but
I'm gonna stop you right there. I am lagging like a bitch. If you can hear me.
Nope, it's me.
No, it's not you. It's I believe it's Spectrum right now between the two of us. It might actually be Discord. Tough to say. And green, 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 we are racing once again. And we are racing once again out here.
Yeah, it's just Discord.
It's just Discord fucking with us, but we're still going out here. I'll let you continue that here in a minute, Kevin, but racing once again out here, 9 to go. Danny Barnes leading this thing. Alright, while we're watching these guys all get up to speed here and stuff, back to what you were saying before Discord decided to give us a little episode.
Oh, I was just thanking the viewers. We've had a great turnout. And every time I've checked by viewage, I mean, I know they're not here to see us, but definitely appreciative that a lot of guys have come out and watched in the chat.
Yeah, definitely a big thank you to everybody who's out here watching tonight if it's your first time. Thanks for coming out. Definitely a big thanks to everybody who was subscribing earlier. We really do appreciate it. I believe we're closing on 250 now, right? It looks like everyone's about made their way back up to speed here. The second line's starting to work, and as we said earlier, it is go time out here. I imagine these guys will be looking to make their moves pretty quickly out here.
As you see, a lot of the guys showing that second line started by...
Oh boy. I'm hoping that is just an us issue. A lot of blinking going on right now from a couple of the guys right now in that bunch.
Definitely some blinking going on the track right now, but Nolan Gross is on that outside line trying to get some speed. Danny Barnes is going to come up to block, and he's going to take a hard push.
Going to take the push, and looking like he's going to stay up all the way through turns 3 and 4. He's going to leave the inside to Jeremiah Nelson.
Yeah, I'm hearing in the chat that there is some blinking going on from the driver, so hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. We only have 7 laps to go in this thing. Danny Barnes with a huge surge to get by Nelson.
Oh boy, and here's the third
just
line
about
looming.
Clear himself. He goes down.
And you know, I gotta say, Kevin, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and as we approach these last handful of laps out here, these guys start to race. You know, and turn that knob of intensity up just a little bit more. We got to keep that that bumper hook in the back of our minds out here and keep an eye out for it. We've been commenting on it pretty much.
Oh, and there it is!
And there it is! Right as we called it.
A great save. A great save for Danny Barnes, and a great heads-up move for Nelson. Both of them are going to stay safe.
And we almost speak it into existence there.
And how about the 0-2 of Gross? Able to get to the lead now. Aiden Stevens right behind him. Two guys we haven't talked about too much tonight. Both waited for their moment. They think it's now with 6 laps to go. Danny Barnes on that inside line, 3 lead. Not what he wanted to happen to him, but great save on him and Nelson.
And you
to
know,
keep
it's
playing Nelson now, running that outside line behind Heath Job, who's going to try to push him towards the front.
And if you're Danny Barnes, you can't let something like that shake you up. You got 5 more laps left of this stuff. You gotta lock it in here and keep this thing going. You can't let a little setback like that completely get you out of this thing. Still sitting on that 3rd row right now, the inside line. He's a little contained right now. Can't really move anywhere, but definitely gonna be looking for his opportunity here as he is almost clear on that outside line, and he's gonna take it.
There he goes. And there goes the 0-2 as well. They're really gonna leave the 88. A big push from Barnes into the back of Gross. They're both going to drop down.
They're both going to drop down now. A lot of transfers being made here. A lot of line switches being happening here. And the 88 now leading the top line now. Jeremiah Nelson. We see
Jeremiah Nelson
giving some room to breathe there for Danny Barnes. And
Danny Barnes.
Danny Barnes. He's going to try to come back down. And they're going to let him.
He's going to make it back down. A very forgiving move.
That definitely stacked up the inside line a little bit there.
Yeah, it's going to drop Heath Job in to the inside line, leaving the 31 of Nick Hames now, who we haven't said a thing about tonight, on the front of the outside line. Heath Job giving the push to Jeremiah Nelson.
Definitely not a bad spot to be sitting, leading the second line right now. Nick Hames, and the 67 comes into Danny Barnes, and they're wrecking hard going across the front stretch.
Oh no, and that's going to bring out the caution.
Oh boy.
Great misfortune there for Danny Barnes as he's going to get hit hard there.
Henry Gench, David McCullough, I believe was safe of that one. Danny Barnes, heavily involved, and oh man, I'm reading Houston Galena wrecking as well. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. Just as we thought the final stretch was going to be made out here, we're going to have to be pacing around one more time as I am reading 4 more meatballs, Kevin. And I have to say, it's going to be an unfortunate end of the night out here for Danny Barnes, James Hudson, I believe Houston Galena as well, just to name a few. And we're going to have to go ahead and watch that one back. We're going to watch...
We watch something from Henry Gench's, whether it's Far Chase or Chopper or something. Because it really looks like he might be the core of this one. It looks like he goes up to the third line, and then right when the split began, well, we can just roll the tape. The trioval, he gets way up the track.
And you know, I gotta say, Kevin, we saw him do that a couple times earlier. And I mean, I don't want to say it's, you know, an intentional thing there, but we saw it happen a couple of times throughout the race here, getting a little bit high from him, either through the trioval or through the turns there. And I'm honestly a little surprised he didn't get split sooner. And someone decided it just wasn't enough there near the end of the race. And unfortunately, that's going to lead to a pretty big incident that I'm not only... It didn't end his race, but it ended a couple other drivers' races, and I imagine they will not be very happy about that one. But it's going to leave Jeremiah Nelson in the pilot seat here in first place. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if that's going to take us to our first green-white checkered. Might just take us to a normal finish here to start still.
It's going to take us to the green-white checkered.
Okay, so that's our first of 4 possible out here tonight. Yeah, now it comes down to who's got the car and who's got the fuel left to finish this thing.
I'm going to go ahead and drag over Daryl Johnson, get an interview with him, and see what he has to say about that incident that he was kind of at the heart of there alongside Henry Gench. Hey, Daryl, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, it's kind of the witching hour now. We're kind of at the end of this race, and we saw what we kind of talked about earlier with the 67 kind of going up to that third line and then kind of cutting back down, and we were kind of waiting to see, you know, who would split him, and the decision was made, and he came back down over your nose. And first and foremost, do you have any damage coming into this first green-white checkered?
Well, I wasn't sure where the 67 was because he was kind of jumping around the track a little bit. So I was just honestly just trying to get around him because I didn't want to wreck. So I wasn't sure where he was. And then it appeared that he was in the high side, but I wasn't positive. So I kind of just stayed in the middle, and then all of a sudden he was back in front of me. So yeah, just one of those things, you know, he was blinking basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of all over the place. Held your line, and unfortunate that one caught so many drivers up. But you're still in what looks to be a decent spot. I'm not sure how the damage is. But looking on the first of possible 4 green-white checkers, definitely still time out here. So we wish you the best of luck to see if you can do anything in the end of the race.
Yeah, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Appreciate it. That was Daryl Johnson. He's currently sitting, what are we looking at? P6. Could be worse, Luke.
Yeah, definitely not a bad spot to be in, Kevin. I mean, third row, definitely not terrible here, as the lights are still on the pace car. They're going to go around one more timer before we get this thing rolling again. I mean, if we want to roll another one, we got time for another green-white checkered, or another interview, sorry. We want to bring in Jeremiah Nelson, the current race leader?
Well, we already talked to him tonight.
That's right. Who else we got in here? Let's see.
How about the P2 sitter, Nick Haynes? We haven't
Yeah.
talked about him much. Let me see if I can get him dialed up here.
He's not available. Omar Rodriguez in third as well. Been doing pretty solid tonight.
He's talking RC right now. I can hear. Let's see if I can get. Do you see him?
Take a gander.
I don't. We could chat. We could drag Jacob Petrowski in here and sing "Happy Birthday" to him.
I found Omar if we want to get him in here, but I'm not opposed to a happy birthday thing. It's up to you.
Well, honestly, let's just hold off for now. Lights are off on the pace car, and I know Omar was talking to race control.
Yeah, he's going to be pushing the inside line here. He's been fighting up front for a vast majority of this race out here, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see here what these guys do near the end of this thing here and see what final moves are made.
Yeah, and I've got to put my money on Jeremiah Nelson if I got to put on anybody, Luke. I'm not even going to lie. It seems like he has found a way every single time. He's kind of got knocked back. He had those internet issues earlier on, fell to the back. Not 5 laps later, he was up to the front. He started towards the back, made that second line work once I went single file, got to the front. It seems like every time he's kind of got knocked back, he's found his way back up to the front. So, honestly, if I were to put my eggs in one basket, it'd be the Jeremiah Nelson basket. Who do you have your eyes on to win this thing, Luke?
I mean, I definitely can't discredit the battle for adversity there from Jeremiah Nelson. He's definitely had to battle quite a bit here, but Omar Rodriguez, in my opinion, Kevin, has also been in a very good position here. He's been fighting around pretty much everything. I've seen him about work from the far back of the field all the way back up to the front a couple times here. But either way, it's really tough to tell. I really can't have my money on anybody here to the end of this one, but we're going to have to see what everyone can do here as we're going to the start of our first green-white checker. It's going to be Jeremiah Nelson and Nick Hames here to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go, green-white checkered. If we get to the white flag, it's over. It's getting raced out no matter what. Jeremiah Nelson on the control. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're racing. And a great jump for him. It's his choice of where he wants to go with it. I'd imagine, for now at least, he's going to stay on the inside.
And we're seeing people in the chat right now casting their votes. If you got your predictions right now, make them early. I want to hear who everyone's got winning this one.
And that outside line still has about 4 cars. We've seen earlier in this race an issue of guys on the outside dropping in and kind of killing the momentum of that outside line. It doesn't seem to be the case here with just a lap and a half to go. 88 of Jeremiah Nelson still in the lead. Nick Hames hanging on right on his door, though.
The 67 sitting there back about 4 rows back without a bumper. And oh man, they're bumping around.
Here comes that
as they're making their way to the white flag. Will we see it? They're wrecking out across the tri-oval. Will we see the white flag? Still green. We will. White flag. And oh
this thing's being led by Nelson, but Omar Rodriguez.
Oh, we wreck it out. There goes Heath Job. He's gone.
Oh no.
Still bumping around back
Gross
there.
And Garrett Hummel sitting 3 and 4 now. They're in a good spot. And here comes the move. The move's made by Nolan Gross. Oh,
bumping around.
A little bit of bumping.
Oh boy.
Jeremiah
single
Nelson's
file. They got
this thing well, but if you're Omar Rodriguez, you're in the best possible position to go ahead and make the move. The move's not made
man.
yet. They stay low. A little bit of room between the two, and here goes the move.
One more turn.
Rodriguez up to the high side.
Here we go.
Jeremiah Nelson feels helpless.
Man.
He shoots out of the
cannon. Too.
Oh man, split on the inside too.
Oh, they connect. Oh my god, they reckon like shit. And Omar Rodriguez is gonna take it. God damn, what an end to a race. Whew. We saw the seas part, all the wrecks happen, and through it all, I gotta say, my prediction, Omar Rodriguez shines through and gets it done.
Absolutely.
He's gonna go take his victory lap. Boy, what a finish there, Kevin. That was a nail-biter there to end this one.
Yeah, and good call there from Buster Malcolm. 69-69, getting it done with the call. He called Omar right before that green-white checkered. But just looking back here, let's take a look at that white flag real quick, Luke, and just see what happened there, because cars were flying everywhere.
I love the wait a minute. We got to get this post-race burnout real quick from your race winner. Just glad to be here, Omar Rodriguez. holding it down out of Miami, the number 92. I believe we're going to see a bit of a burnout here across the front stretch. Getting her going, a little bit of asphalt, a little bit of dirt action. And definitely a good win for the 92 of Omar Rodriguez. But yeah, let's go ahead and go back and break that one down out here as he is continuing on his celebration. So let me go ahead and see if we can figure out where this checkered flag is. And here we see it's the last lap. The bumping's going around. Let's see if we can maybe watch a far chase here from Omar Rodriguez out of turn 4. He's got the speed. He holds at the 78s behind him. I mean, the 488 really just did not have any speed to keep up with him. 78 tries to make the move down low. Omar shuts that down, tries to go back up high, and there's just no real estate. You know, I gotta say, the guys behind him as well, they all, about 4 of them wrecked out there and junked the cars there at the end of that last lap. But what a win for Omar Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get some interviews started. Starting with your second place finisher, Garrett Hummel. A great race for him. We didn't talk too much about him, but when it mattered, man, he made a run there for the end. Hey, Garrett, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, man, what a great green-white checkered for you. It's kind of seems like you were a little buried there coming to the green. I think 7th place sitting there on the inside line, but you're able to find your way through it and get to the outside with Omar. And, I mean, kind of just follow the runs there and get yourself a podium finish. You want to talk us through that green-white checker?
Yeah, that first it was a lot of luck on the end of the race with my end of the line coming out of pit road earlier on that first stop, and then my spin through the infield grass there, and coming off 2 after the white flag, I went to pass. I think it was the 02 was in front of me, and he came a little high. I went to the inside, and I didn't want to spin him when he came back down, so I let off. Saw there was a car coming to the outside, and I was like, this is my chance to go. Jumped in front of him, side drafted the 02 a little bit in the corner, and Omar jumped up coming off of turn 4, and I just followed him down. I was trying to do it inside or an outside to an inside there at the end. Didn't want to cross that double yellow line, so I cut hard back, and he just got me by most of his car length. It was fun racing there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And it almost looked there at the end like the guys on the inside line of you kind of split each other there. Do you think that gave you kind of the momentum to get the second place there, or do you think you and Omar had enough speed that it was inevitable?
I think them splitting up helped me get up there. I think it definitely helped when he pulled up with the draft, the way that I called it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a great race for you on the last preseason race of the season. Hopefully, the success can continue over into the regular season next week, and we or in a couple weeks, and we hope to talk to you then. Anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I want to thank my dad and my wife for watching the race tonight. They were texting me under cautions, saying I was lucky on some of them, and I'm excited for the season to start at Daytona.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. And congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Garrett Hummel getting a second place finish out here. Luke, now I think it's time to talk to your race winner, Omar Rodriguez, who led a lot of laps out here, showed a lot of face out here up towards the front, and inevitably was able to get it done. Hey, Omar, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yep, got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, how about that race? Kind of put yourself in the right position there on the green-white checkered. I know Luke kind kind of thought you were going to win there before it even went green on the green white checker, pushing that inside line, and then you're able to make the move there on the white. Got a push there from Garrett there at the end, and was able to take the checkered flag. You want to talk us through first how that green white checker went?
Yeah, man, it was challenging. I'm sitting right behind the leader, and we go green. I don't get the best of jumps, but I managed to catch up to him once we make it through 1 and 2, and it's just a drag race down the backstretch. I'm pushing my guy. Outside line has a bump draft going, and once they didn't catch it, or once they didn't pinch us down in 3 and 4, we managed to separate and just get a good run going into the white flag there. And once we had 3 and 4 on the white flag, I managed to back up a little bit and get enough of a run going on the 32 to, the 88 to swing by him, getting into the tri-oval there, man. It was exhilarating.
Yeah, great race, a great finish. Also, I kind of just talked to Garrett about it, but it kind of seemed like that inside line maybe would have had a chance at something hadn't they split up on each other there coming to the tri-oval. Do you think that helped you and Garrett clear enough to kind of make it, guaranteed that you guys were going to finish up there in the front?
Yeah, coming out of 4, once I saw them wrecking, I definitely had a little bit less on my mind, because I knew all I had to do at that point was just make sure the 78 didn't get by me for the win.
Absolutely. Well, it was a great race and a great finish for you. Hopefully that can bring, some momentum to the regular season here in a couple weeks to get something going. But as for tonight, anyone would like to thank or shout out before we get you out of here?
Oh man, I want to. Well, I mean, first of all, I want to thank all of my drivers for showing up tonight for a preseason race. We got what 30 something entries. It's a good sign for things to come for the regular season. I want to shout out the guys at 760 Graphics, Skid Row Motorsports, our other sponsors, Fast Fred's Wrap Shop, the Slightly Dangerous guys. I wanna thank all our sponsors for being able to make the full season broadcast a thing. I want to thank you guys for being able to fit us into your schedule. It's very exciting being the league owner right now. Just won the last preseason race, got a lot of drivers hungry to win. I'm really looking forward to the season.
Absolutely, as are we. It's been a great turnout here tonight. I think we had 33 entries, so a great turnout, especially for a preseason race. And I assume it feels pretty good to go out here and beat all of your drivers in the preseason race.
Definitely, man. There's some good super speedway racers here, and to be able to come out on top of them, just kind of survive a little bit longer than they could, feels pretty good. I know they'll be
Absolutely.
there come Daytona, though.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you and your team for the success tonight, and we hope to see you up front next or week 1.
Yep, December 2nd, Tuesday night. Save the date.
Absolutely, we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. That was Omar Rodriguez able to take the checkered flag and get the win here tonight. And the last preseason race got a little 2-week break now before the regular season. Luke, what'd you think?
Well, Kevin, I had a blast out here. It was an exciting end to an exciting race out here, and I mean, we had pretty much a little bit of all you could ask for out here. We had the cautions, we had the green-white checkered, we had the wrecking, we had the we had a bit of fuel strategy in there, I want to say. I mean, we had a couple guys taking a couple early pits. What I'm trying to get at here is we kind of had all we could ask for out here. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great race and a great sign to the season to come. I think thanks to the sponsors, thanks to all the guys that could bring us over, because I haven't been this excited for a series in a long time. So I can't say much more else than that, because we really couldn't ask for much more out of this first race, Luke.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you here, Kevin. I think it's definitely a good showcase for what we're in for the rest of the season, and I think you about summed it up pretty well out there. Big thanks to everybody for coming out and watching us. If it's your first time, definitely hit the subscribe button. We would definitely appreciate it a lot. Big thanks to the guys for putting this thing on and getting this thing rolling for us, and we are really looking forward to the start of this season. I guess we will be seeing you guys all in the next one, unless you got anything else to add, Kevin.
Well, I was just going to say big thanks to 760 Graphics and Skid Row Motorsports once again. If you're looking for a paint scheme and you know how to contact Heath Job, contact him. If you don't, contact one of us here and we will direct you to Heath Job with 760 Graphics to get you hooked up, because make some nice paint schemes, Luke.
Yeah, I guess we will see you all